Tape www.suividécole-au-Sénégal.com. À école au Sénégal, c'est facile, tu n'as qu'à te connecter. Tape école au Sénégal, les leçons sont beaucoup plus détaillées.
Relations. What are relations? What do we say relations could be? If you had to talk about relation, what is it to you? Is it about a bond? Is a bond supposed to be blood? Or relation is just about a connection with people? And that's what it is actually. Relation, it's both. They're actually both. It could be a connection with people that makes it a relationship, or it could just be a blood bond that makes it family. And we're going to look at a couple of relations, a couple of relationships, okay, what they are. And so in relations, we have what we call family already. And you know family. We've just talked about family extensively, about family. That is a relation, that's a blood bond. That's family, it's a blood bond. It means you're in relation avec du sang. C'est une relation, you know. Quand je dis sang, ça signifie que ça peut être papa, maman, oncle, tantine, mais c'est une relation familiale. That's a family relation that is blood bonded, okay? And then you have, of course, you can have friends. You can have friends. And friends are connections that you have, and these friends can become best friends, they can become good friends. They're actually just connection, okay? They can have a good connections. It can even be a colleague that you guys are good, that you guys are close. It could be a neighbor that you guys are very close, that you chit-chat and exchange and visit each other. Those are, that's termed under friends. So they are more like a link or an easy connection, not necessarily blood, there's no blood connected in it, but you guys are just close, you share the same ideas, the same links, the same things, that's friends. And then you have what they call acquaintances. And what is so funny about acquaintances is that people oftentimes get it confused with friends. Friends is close. Friends are actually closer. Having a friend is much more closer than an acquaintance, okay? And a friend is someone that you will share ideas, that you would visit, that you would confide, that you would laugh with, that you would call anytime, that you know that person, if possible, you even know their background and their family and their history, and then oftentimes even becomes closer to a best friend or even a relationship. But an acquaintance is different. An acquaintance is someone that is just casual. It's just strictly, you know, your business with that person, your transaction with that person. That's an acquaintance. If I'm meeting you every Tuesday, you're not my friend. Even if I meet you every day, we're just saying hello or hi, please do this, or can I do this? That doesn't make you my friend. In order for you to come in the circle of my friends, there are so many stages that cause you to come into as being my friend. And so people get it twisted sometimes between a friend and an acquaintance. Please take note, okay? And just because I probably even know your background or probably know where you come from or that we've been in the same class from kindergarten all the way to university, that does not still make you my friend. And so friend is someone that is actually intimate. And when I say intimate, not intimate in that sense, but intimate in the sense that you guys are close, you guys share a lot of stuff, you guys are fun to be with, that both of you help each other and is important to each other. Whereas an acquaintance is someone that you just barely know, someone that you just barely talk to, someone that you just barely meet or barely share some important and private stuff about your life. It's just strictly business. For example, I have colleagues that are just acquaintances because we meet, hello, hi, how was the day, how's the family, what did you teach, and we go our separate ways. So don't get it confused, don't get it mixed up, don't get it twisted between a friend and acquaintance and you just bond it up and say everybody's your friend. How is that possible that everybody is your friend? And so acquaintance is much more professional. Acquaintance is much more strict. It's just much more distant, okay? It's an acquaintance. I'm acquainted. We're just meeting. Or we just, you know, we just meet for strict things, events, and that we're gone. No need of being on phone for hours and hours talking about, you know, things and all, tout et rien. There's no traveling plans or things like that. We're acquaintance. We're still getting to know each other. It's just a strict thing. That is acquaintance, okay? And then relations, And then after that, it could be like love relationship. That's another one. When it becomes now kind of like romantic. Romantic. Of course, we know what romance is. That it goes from acquaintance maybe to friends and maybe to romantic, and then after it builds up to family. I just mixed it up. And so romantic, we know what romantic is. That it builds up to something much more, the feelings are much more deep, the feelings are much more sincere, that you start feeling some kind of attraction to that person. That is romantic, okay? That you're, feeling comfortable, you want to build a different kind of relationship with that person. So the feelings are much more elevated. That might probably take you maybe to marriage and then build up a family. So all these relationships that you see and all that, it falls in these categories. Actually, these four. Whatever you want to place them, it falls here. If it's uncle, if it's auntie's family, if it's friend or best friend, it's there. If it's just a business deal or business worker, or just someone you're just meeting, it's an acquaintance. And then if you have someone that you love, you fall in love with, that you're in a relationship with, or you're engaged to, that is romantic relationship. So those are different relations. Wherever you put them, if it's a colleague, if it's a staff, if it's a friend, if it's an enemy, if it's wherever it is, even an enemy could be an acquaintance. And so wherever you put them, okay, but it falls oftentimes mainly in these four categories, okay? And now let's go now to relationships. What are the different relationships? What are the different relationships that you know about? What are the different relationships? I'll put here relationships. Let's go to relationships. Okay, relationships. What are the different kind of relationships that you probably know about, that you want to work on? The first relationship we're going to talk about probably is what you call, a long distance. You know what a long distance relationship is? Long distance relationship. Long distance relationships are relationships that the spouse or both persons are not in the same town, and sometimes not even in the same country. That's a long distance relationship or long distance relationship because it's long. Okay, you're probably in the car and your spouse or your fiance or your girlfriend is in, Ziguinchor. That's quite far, I hope. Or you're here and you have someone in Cameroon or in France or in America. That's a long distance relationship. And so you guys are far apart. You're torn apart, but you're in a relationship. And sometimes it could work, and sometimes patience kind of destroys it. And, because maybe one party is not as patient as, or one party is just tired of and then moves on. And so that's a long distance relationship, okay? That the two parties are separated because of distance, and it's quite a distance. And so it's a long distance relationship, okay? And then we have monogamy. You have a monogamy. We know what monogamy is, okay? We know what it is. One man for one wife. That's monogamy, and stick to it. A lot of Christians do practice that, which is something that most women would probably love. Monogamy, one man, one woman, okay? And then we have polygamy. Which is a man to multiple wives, or a man plus wives. I remember a man and a woman. Man and a woman. Remember what we talked about? Polygamy. Men will please your wives with multiple wives, and I said the wives will say my co-wives or my sister wives. And then the children will call themselves steps, and so, and then that one is a man and a wife, or the husband and wife, for épouse, mari, épouse, husband and wife. And then we have polyandry, which is a little more. So polyandry is a woman with multiple men actually married or date multiple men. That's polyandry. It's not really out there. It's not really practiced as much as, but you see it in South Africa. You see it in Kenya, as far as Africa is concerned. So polyandry is one woman getting married to multiple husbands, or having been in a relationship with two husbands. Oftentimes, for now, we've seen like two husbands, okay? That is polyandry, okay? And in this case, you're wondering, so how does that happen? In this case, these men take the woman's name. Unlike in these cases where the woman takes the man's name, in polyandry, oftentimes, the man will take the woman's name, or the woman rarely would take both men's names, okay? And so that is a polyandry, with a woman having two wives, two men, I'm sorry. So that's polyandry. So, you know, that what that means, okay? It's polyandry. And then you have what we call a recomposed family. You have a recomposed family. A recomposed family is la famille recomposée. We know that it is what it is. The woman that comes into a relationship with a child, and a man that comes to a relationship with a child, and together they build a family and have kids together. C'est la famille recomposée. A woman that comes in, and the man that comes into a relationship already having kids or a kid, and they come together and they get married and have more kids. So all that, c'est une famille qui est recomposée. Le monsieur qui vient avec ses enfants, la dame qui vient avec ses enfants, et ensemble ils se marient, ils forment une grande famille et ont des enfants ensemble. That is a recomposed family. It's just, you know, and in that case, of course, you have steps. You can have a stepmom. Remember how I said stepmom, beau-père, belle-mère ou beau-père? So you can have a stepmom. In that case, you probably say it's my stepmom, it's my stepdad, my stepbrother, my half-brother, my half-sister. That's a recomposed family, okay? That you have that you come in and get, you know, and build up and have a better, you know, a unified family and a large family with so many different branches. Sometimes this is a bit complicated to handle because people come with different